I'm nevertheless struck at the opportunity that such a confluence presents, as Shavuot and the ancient ideas that sit at its very heart offer us striking, real-time guidance for how we might move forward as individuals and community in this next new reality we're entering. The foundation of the entire construct of God's giving the Torah to the people is built upon the absolute, unwavering inclusion of every person in the process, both equally and personally. First and foremost, Torah is revealed to everyone at the same time, with the same amplification. It didn't matter whether you were in the front row or the standing room only seats at the very back. Our tradition stresses that each person had equal access, sight lines, and sound quality. Plus, everyone had a ticket. Everyone was there. Rich and poor, young and old, every gender, every background, Republicans and Democrats, Red Sox and Yankees fans alike. You get the picture. Everyone had a ticket. One midrash even suggests that it was not just our ancestors who were all in attendance, but also every single one of us was there too, each and all of us, all together, to receive the Torah equally. But there's more. The Midrash goes on to say that the Torah was revealed in one voice by God, but it was heard by the people in the particular language they spoke. Kind of like what happens at the UN, so that each person could fully understand the terms of what was being given, empowered through their own personal contexts to come to understand the true power of the moment, to comprehend fully what was at stake. In so many ways, the particular narrative of the giving of Torah on Shavuot mirrors the universal narrative of the creation of human beings. As we learn in Torah, all humans are created b'tselem Elohim, in the divine image. But although we're created in the same singular image, every human proves different and unique. And as such, each and every one of us, in our uniqueness, proves an equal image of God. And of course, embedded here is the key operational understanding that each of us, each person, has something invaluable to offer. But at the same time, and because of each person's infinite value, every person is also equal in God's eyes. We're compelled to see each other the same way as well. There's an interesting Talmudic market economics concept called Devar Shebeminyan. It refers to the fact that an object that is counted individually as one whole in and of itself cannot be nullified or discounted, no matter how small its proportion is, when mixed with anything else. Put it simply, even if the item in question is in such small proportion that it will not be recognizable at all, you still have to acknowledge its presence, at least according to the Talmud. And so if this practice counts for material items, you can bet all the more so does it apply to how we view and value each other. From a Jewish vantage, we are never justified in discounting anyone else or elevating ourselves above anyone else. It's why we record the dissenting view in the Talmud, even when it's ruled against. And it's why our tradition teaches that saving a single life overrides all the commandments, because if you destroy a life, you destroy the world. But if you save a life, you save the world in full. And that's why the Torah was given the way it was, equally to everyone. So not one person could claim an exclusive or more elevated hold. I want you to really consider and take in this incredible countercultural message. That the Jewish value placed on the uniqueness of each and every person stands in direct contrast to our westernized 21st century sensibilities that equate uniqueness with entitlement. It's that I'm special, so I don't have to do what everyone else is expected to do mentality. From the Jewish frame, uniqueness is not equated with privilege. Instead, it's equated with responsibility. The fact that I am entirely unique in all space and time, that doesn't entitle me to some status greater than anyone else. Rather, it makes me uniquely responsible for that which only I, in this life that I have right now, have the tools to address. Rabbi Shai Held puts it this way: we are, all of us, called upon to serve. Yet crucially, we are not asked to serve in nameless anonymity, but rather in the fullness of our own individuality. How can I, with my unique gifts, talents, and passions, and my unique combination of weaknesses and limitations, best serve God? And we answer not as human beings in general, but as human beings in all of our particularity. So for the rest of today, and tomorrow for those who observe 2 days of Shavuot, we get to stay up on the mountaintop. And we can delight in the splendor of the experience of being given the most precious gift of all time. But tomorrow, or the next day, we will come down the mountain again, and we will have the choice of how to move forward into a new version of a new normal in what remains a precarious and frightening time. We'll need to decide how we will demonstrate whether or not we have accepted that gift, if we're willing to walk in the ways of justice, mercy, and humility, or not. What might that mean for us in a practical sense? It means maintaining physical distance. It means wearing our masks. It means honoring the limitations of our state and our cities and our institutions, even if we feel that we ourselves are not at risk. It means supporting our local businesses and institutions who need every one of us now more than ever. After all, we're taught that when it comes to communal obligation, you start with those closest to you. It means remembering that while you may be able to go out and socialize, still so many others must remain sheltering in place. And therefore we need to go out of our way to extend an extra helping hand, maybe through running an errand or just a call to check in. It means understanding that even though so many of us want nothing more than to come back together as one big community, I know here for me to pray aloud together in one voice, to sing together in one voice, one physically next to the other, we know that to do so would knowingly put each other at real risk. And we are commanded above all else to uphold the value of life, because Judaism is a faith to be lived for. The great 18th century Hasidic Rebbe Yitzchak Meir Rotenberg Alter taught, the giving of Torah happened at one specific time, but the receiving of Torah happens all the time. This day, on this journey, may we receive Torah deeply, personally, particularly, and responsibly. And may we commit to bringing it to our lives and our communities in the most virtuous of ways. Chag Sameach. Shabbat Shalom.